How's it going? It's Chris, Mr. Moneyfingers, Haddad here. If you don't know me, what I do is I help copywriters and media buyers and offer owners use punch-in-the-gut stories and a deep and kind of crazy understanding of human emotion and what really drives people to help you dramatically increase your conversions and your income so you can really just avoid ever having to get a goddamn real job for the rest of your life. Because to me, getting a real job is a certain kind of hell. And today what I want to talk to you about is how do you get paid a lot as a copywriter? How do you become a copywriter who can charge $25, $30, $50, $100,000 for a letter? How do you become a copywriter who can get a piece of a letter like I did for the Power for Home letter so many years ago, where I got paid, quite honestly, $300,000 for 6 hours of work because I was able to negotiate a deal with Chris Fox, who owned the offer, where I got 10% of it over time and over time and over time. And so let me tell you a really quick little story. A few months ago, back in December, I think, I was down in Arizona for Laura Catella Georgia's Diamond Day event. I love Laura. She's been a friend of mine for many years. I'm incredibly proud of her for what she's been doing in her business and in her life. Anyway, the evening of that event, we were all at the Georgia's giant mansion-like home with a great view of Arizona and fake grass everywhere. Not how I want to live, but I'm glad they do. And I was sitting there at one point talking to a few young copywriters, a few folks that actually invested in one of my programs. And this young guy came over to me. He's about 23 years old. I won't share his name. And he said to me, he's like, Chris, like, can I ask you a question? I'm like, yeah, of course you can, man. No problem. And he said, like, how do I get paid a lot as a copywriter? Like, how do I get like royalties? How do I get people to just want to pay me over and over and over again? He sat there almost like he had like a pencil in his hand, like he was going to be taking notes and kind of pulling these things out of my brain. And I think what he wanted me to tell him was that what you do is you learn crazy psychological tricks in order to negotiate your way into getting these fees. You learn how to create contracts, that we use certain persuasion techniques to make it seem obvious that they could get paid as much as possible, or maybe you just get really ballsy and tell people it's a high price and they deal with it. But I looked at the kid and I said, well, here's the actual truth, my friend. The way you get paid a lot as a copywriter, where you can become a multimillionaire by writing copy either for clients or for yourself, is by getting really fucking good. And the kid looked at me for a second. He actually got this look on his face. He kind of furrowed his brow a little bit. And he was like, wow, man, nobody ever told me that before. And I got pretty fucking pissed off, honestly, not at the kid, but at the copywriting education community in general. Because to me, the idea that nobody has ever told these people that the way to make a lot of money as a copywriter is to get good is incredibly absurd. The way I was brought up in this business when I was being trained by guys like John Carlton and David Garfinkel and, studying Clayton Makepeace and Ogilvy and all those other kind of things, the focus always was, when you're early on in your career, you're in your quote unquote dirty whore phase, as Carlton would say, where your job is to go out there and do the work and get the reps in and get so good they actually can't deny you. That they're forced basically to come to you and say, hey, whatever your name is, copywriter, here's 25 grand to write a letter. Here's 50 grand to write a letter. Or even better, here's a way that you can get royalties and get paid again and again and again. So honestly, it kind of pisses me off because I do feel like that there is a glut of, quite honestly, crappy copywriters out there who are really early on in their careers. They've come into the business. Maybe they've bought a few programs from people I've never heard of, which is kind of strange because I know everybody. And then they go out there and they start charging all this money. And here's the thing about doing that. If you go out there when you're not quite good enough yet, when you don't actually have the ability to get people to, increase their conversions dramatically, and you charge a lot, when you charge more than you're actually worth at that point, you're not doing yourself a favor. You might get a few $1,000s more now, but you're killing your career. Absolutely killing it. Because in copywriting and marketing and life in general, all you have is your reputation. If you get a reputation for being somebody who isn't delivering the goods, your career will be over before it gets started. So anyway, all I wanted to do today was focus your brain on this one particular thing. If you want to get really, really good as a copywriter, to make a lot of money as a copywriter, you don't focus on how much money you make from your client, at least not at the beginning. You focus on how much money your client is going to make because of your copy. If you get a reputation and you get a track record of consistently getting people dramatically improved conversions where they are actually coming to you and begging you to write their copy, believe me, you will get paid. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say today. You can probably click a link or something and learn more about me. And that's it for now. Let me find the button where I stop this video.